Matt, we met in Krakow, and you're an English guy that lives here in Poland. Why?
Sorry to interrupt you there. It's Mark, not Matt.
Damn it.
Meet Palle Bo, a full-time traveler and digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world. At the age of 50, he made a bold decision. He sold everything, his house, his car, his furniture, and set out on a quest to visit every country in the world, documenting everything along the way. This is The Radio Vagabond.
I think I said in the latest episode of The Radio Vagabond that it was going to be 2 weeks in Krakow and only 1 week in Warsaw. That is not totally accurate. It was 22 days in Krakow, so a little bit more than 3 weeks, and only 4 days in Warsaw. But that's how much I enjoyed my time in Krakow. Still, I also wanted to get a taste of the capital of Poland, and this is where we're going in this episode. I'm going to meet an Englishman that have lived here for many years. I'm interested in hearing how and why he chose to live in Warsaw and hear about the city and the country with Western European eyes. I'm also going to the hospital because I discovered that my blood pressure was through the roof. Still in Krakow, I'm heading to the airport named after Pope John Paul II, chatting with the Uber driver.
So how do you say your name? Michael?
Michael,
really?
Michał.
Ah, okay. So you're Polish. What is the best part about living here in Krakow?
I think so. Kraków is cheaper.
Yeah.
And I think so. Here live good people. I think so. Friendly people.
But I'm going to Warsaw. How is it different than Warsaw?
I think so. Here are very conservative people, and here is old town, old city. This is history, you know.
Yeah.
History, but Kraków was first Polish capital.
Yes.
Warsaw is in future, but you know, I think so. Many people from Europe like better Kraków than Warsaw, and in general, Kraków is the best.
Yeah. And you're not born and raised right here in Krakow, but you're close.
I was born 30 kilometers from here, a small city, Proszowice, and many people from Kraków was born not here. You know, here is many people from Ukraine, from Africa, from Asia, and Kraków is a little modern and a little conservative, and I think so is everything is for me and for many my friends for many people good. Yeah. Sorry for my English, but
Oh, that's perfect.
not perfect.
No, it's very good. Yeah, but does Poland have any challenges right now as a country? Is there something that could be improved?
I think so. I think so that many people from East Europe come here.
Yeah, now you're a Polish Uber driver, but I've been driving with a lot of Ukrainian Uber drivers. I know that a lot of them come here to get a better life.
Yeah. Many people from Ukraine work to Uber, work to Poland, work to Kraków, and I think so. Many people from Ukraine come to Kraków, and next come to Warsaw. You know, Kraków and Warsaw and Western Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe Germany, maybe Denmark, maybe England. but now we have a Brexit, and it will be difficult. I think so.
Yeah.
Difficult for people from Ukraine, from Russia, from Belarus.
Thank you so much.
Proszę Państwa, dzień dobry, witam serdecznie na pokładzie naszego samolotu dzisiejszym, już po południowym rejsie do Warszawy. Proszę Państwa, nasz rejs potrwa dzisiaj 35 minut.
And then it was off to Warsaw. It's actually not that far, only around 300 kilometers, and I would be able to do that in a bus over land. But LOT Polish Airlines had a cheap domestic flight at only 100 euros, so I decided to do that and save a bit of time. I landed at 1 p.m. and headed straight to the center of the city, and then I didn't know where I was going.
I've arrived to Warsaw now. It's a short Uber ride from the airport to downtown where I am. I'm very close to the old part of Warsaw. I don't know how old it is, since everything was basically leveled during the war. I'm here to look for the apartment, and I can't really find it. The address says 321, and I'm here at 311, but it's not obvious exactly where to go. My host should be here any minute, and I sent him a message on where I am, but it's not that obvious.
Hello?
Hello, this is Pelle.
Hi, Pelle.
Hi.
Marcin speaking.
I'm on the street corner where it says 311, but I don't see 321 anywhere.
All right, you're in a good place. Just wait for me like 2 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I will come to you in 2
Okay,
minutes.
I'll wait here.
All right, thank you. See you.
This episode is brought to you in part by Hotels25.com. Whenever you need a hotel anywhere in the world, go to Hotels25.com. That would get you the best price. Hotels25.com searches a bunch of the biggest hotel sites in one simple search. Hotels25.com.
Hi.
Marcin, nice
Hi,
to meet you.
Marcin. Hi.
Do you need some help with the luggage?
I'm good.
You're good, alright, let's go. I'm sorry you had to wait for me.
It's no problem at all.
I just came from the work and I have to go back soon.
Yeah, sure.
This is the room. Do you have a kitchen here?
You can follow Palabo on his Facebook page. Join the conversation about traveling and being a digital nomad. You can also see pictures, videos, and stories that don't necessarily make it into the podcast. Simply search for the Radio Vagabond. And now, facts about where we are.
The Palace of Culture and Science in Warsaw was a gift from the Soviet dictator Stalin to the Polish nation. At 237 meters tall, it's the tallest building in Poland, and at 165 meters, the clock tower is considered to be the tallest in Europe. When it comes to air pollution, Poland is the China of Europe. According to the World Health, a staggering 33 of the 50 most polluted cities in Europe are in Poland, and the capital is one of those. But Warsaw is also a green city. Its Lashinki Park is one of the largest parks in Europe, and pre-pandemic hosted free Sunday concerts from May to October, probably again in 2021. Traffic jam is a thing in Warsaw. It's the most congested city in Europe. Poles spend an average of 106 hours per year stuck in traffic. With around 1.8 million people, Warsaw is the 7th largest capital city of the European Union. The oldest evidence of cheese production was found in the vicinity of Warsaw, apparently being produced here from around 7,500 to 8,000 years ago.
And that was Facts About Where We Are.
The last few weeks I've been kind of feeling an odd feeling that there was something wrong, and I was having this feeling that it's my blood pressure. It's like a sort of a dizziness, slight headache, itching in my fingers and numbness, and since this is something that's been running in the family, and basically what killed my dad a few years ago, this made me worried. So this morning I went to a local pharmacy here in Warsaw and found a place where they could do a blood pressure test. They had a machine just for the customers. You can sit down and stick your arm in the machine, and then it will give you a measurement. And it was way too high. I don't know if you know much about blood pressure, but it should be around 120 over, is it 80? Especially the first number. I don't know much about it. Especially the first number should be around 120, and if it's 140, it's too high. Mine was 177 over 119. I took another test, and it was 186 over 124. Then I sat down and waited for a few minutes. For 10 minutes, I was just sitting still in the pharmacy, and it was 173 over 116, and then close to 150 over 100. And I bought my own small machine that I can travel with, so I can do my own measurements in the morning. And I think I need some medicine. This is something that is a bit worrying to me, or let's say a lot worrying. And I want to check out what the hell is going on here. So now I'm on my way to a medical clinic that can give me a test and hopefully tell me what kind of medicine I need in order to get my blood pressure down. And I need to do some more exercise and live a more healthy lifestyle.
We'll get back to my visit to the hospital in a bit. But first, let's jump ahead a few days when I went to visit a new friend. He's an alien. He's a legal alien. He's an Englishman in Warsaw. You can almost sing that. But what's he doing here? How did he end up here? And what does he think of the country, the language, and its people? That's coming up. Stay with us.
You are listening to the Radio Vagabond, your guide to taking that first step towards living a more fulfilling and adventurous life. If Palabo can do it, why can't you?
What makes an English guy move to Warsaw? Well, I'm about to find out. I'm here to meet an English guy who lives here and has been living here for a while. His name is Matt.
If you keep an open mind when you travel, you meet people. In this case, we met at the sports bar back in Krakow, where I was helping the English sing It's Coming Home. Well, as you heard, the FIFA World Cup trophy didn't come home to England for the first time since 1966. In fact, they also lost the bronze match, and then against the small country of Belgium, and finished fourth. The English were very disappointed. But still, they did a lot better than they had in a long time. Matt was in Krakow to hang out with some friends from England who took the trip there to have a break, watch football, and have some pints.
Hi.
How are you, my good man?
Fine, a little bit tired, but fine, thank you. And yourself?
Good.
In the sports bar, we started talking, and when I heard that he was from Warsaw, I basically invited myself to visit him.
What would you like to drink?
What are you drinking?
I haven't decided what I'm drinking. Basically, I've got a cold beer in the fridge if you want one.
I punched his number into my phone and wrote the name Matt. You see, I'm very good with names.
So, Matt, we met in Krakow, and you're an English guy that lives here in Poland. Why?
Sorry to interrupt you there. It's Mark, not Matt.
Let me do that again.
Sorry, listen.
Damn it. So, Peter.
That was a bit embarrassing. Not the best way to start an interview. So let me just shake that off and take you back to my health check as I'm about to walk into the hospital.
I feel a little dizzy and like it's a little numb in my fingers, but I feel okay. But that's normal with a high blood pressure. See, I took it many times, and it's from today, this morning, and then I sat down and got it down to 148. Mark, you're an Englishman that lives here in Warsaw. Why in the world do you live here and not in the Caribbean?
Good question about if I could go to the Caribbean, I most probably jump at the charts. No, it's a long story back to meeting my ex-wife back in London nightclub back in 1994.
So she was visiting England, and you met there in a nightclub of all places?
Yeah, well,
the Hippodrome?
No, it was a bit more salubrious than that. It was in New Burlington Street in London, supposedly owned by the ex Page 3 model and singer Samantha Fox. I'm not sure if that's true, but she was working.
I remember her.
Yeah. She, my ex-wife, was working illegally in a hotel in Maida Vale, doing lots of jobs, and just met her in a nightclub dance, got a number, and the rest is a long history.
So actually you went there in order to maybe find Samantha Fox, and then you met your wife.
Well, I wouldn't like to say there was any similarity between the two of them for sure, but no, it was actually a end of season dance evening. So we're celebrating the end of season of our darts team, and we just went up to London to drink and have some fun. So it was just by coincidence I bumped into her.
Yeah, and funny enough, going forward in time, I met you with a beer in your hand as well. No, we met in Krakow as the English team was playing the bronze match on the World Cup.
Yeah, which was less said about the better about that, to be honest. But so it was in the Bulldog pub, I think it was called, or the Bull.
The Bull pub.
The Bull pub, which is beer. I don't want to sound like an alcoholic, but beer has influence in my life, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, we are English and Danish, so what can you say? So back how long time ago was that?
I met my ex-wife in March of '94, and by May of '95 we were married, and I was living in a small town outside Warsaw called Żoradów.
And a daughter on the way?
The daughter was conceived in the hotel where she worked, yeah.
So then you decided to stay here, and now you're teaching English. Was that something you've done always?
No, when I was working in England, I was working in financial services. I worked for an insurance company in a bank, doing various different things, from selling loans, insurance, financial services, and working back office. So working as a language instructor was never ever in my thoughts when I first met my ex-wife.
You call a language instructor?
Yeah, well, I'm not allowed to be called myself a teacher in here in Poland, because it's a different legal status, and you have to have full teaching qualifications. Although I have been teaching here for 23 years, and I've been a method trainer and run my own school, been a director of a school and so forth, but I've never actually taken full official qualifications like TOEFL or anything like that. But I've had I used to train other teachers in the past, so I've got no basic thing, but no official qualifications to be a teacher.
So you're an instructor, a language instructor.
Yeah.
It also has a nice ring to it, I think.
It is a complete turnaround, but I enjoy it tremendously. It's great fun meeting lots of people and lots of interesting stories I can tell about my language thing. I ever think about writing my memoirs. I think there's quite a few interesting stories there.
And we'll get a few of those in a few minutes. But first, let's go back to the hospital where I was presented with the prospect of spending a long time in a dreary Polish waiting room.
Okay, today we got a lot of patients here and you will wait, I think, 3 or 4 hours for the medicaments. And if you want, you can wait. But no, it will be 3 or 4 hours. You should find a doctor. How long do you stay in Warsaw?
Until Friday morning.
But then she thought of another option. Just around the corner, there was another clinic. In fact, this was just the emergency room.
It's an address to the doctor. It's 100 meters there. And it's 18.
At 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, yes, 6 p.m. And there you will, they will give you help earlier than here.
So this is just as a private clinic or part of the hospital? Or?
It's, but here we've got emergency only.
Okay.
So
I got it. Okay, this was just the emergency room, and they told me that I would have to wait for 3 or 4 hours, but then gave me an address to another place where I can go at 6 o'clock, and that's in half an hour. And okay, wonder why they even took me in and did the measurement, but okay, doesn't really matter.
Back to Mark and his stories about his time here in Poland as a language instructor.
Lots of interesting stories I can tell about my language thing. I ever think about writing my memoirs. I think there's quite a few interesting stories there.
Give me one of them.
Oh, one I really like to talk about, because in Polish there's a lot of false friends in the language, and I was teaching quite a young, attractive woman in one of my old schools where I still work, but a different office. And we were sitting in the room, and she was sweating a little bit. And I said to her, I don't know what her name is, "Are you okay?" She said, "Yes. Well, I'm a bit wet at the moment." I said, "Wet? Yeah. Whenever I have a lesson with you, I'm always wet." And I had to, because of the meaning in English, I had to let her know what she was saying actually meant. She was quite embarrassed, but she said, "I'm never going to make that mistake again." So there was one thing. And then I had another lady who was well endowed, and she was very terrible at English. She used to come up the stairs from the office below, usually about 15 minutes late into lessons, puffing and panting, and she was a big lady, and a very big and well-endowed lady, and she couldn't get her English right, and she said, I said, "So what did you eat this morning?" She said, "I had breast this morning." So, and I said, "Breakfast?" "Yes, I had breast this morning," she said. Repeated the same thing again. I thought, well, and then I won't tell you what went through my mind when she said that, but anyway, yeah. So I've had lots more other things, but those are the two things that stick in my mind. But there was, but it can be frustrating at times, but it's I've learnt a great deal about myself, about patience and handling different situations, not overreacting and trying to read people. So it has helped me to read people a lot more than I used to. I'm much better judge of character, and I use that when I'm teaching as well.
This is the Radio Vagabond.
Hi, I'm here to see a doctor for high blood pressure.
High blood pressure?
Yeah.
But you were appointed for today, or you...
I went to the emergency room and they said, go here at 6 o'clock and...
Yes, okay. On potrzebuje się dostać do lekarza ze względu na wysokie ciśnienie, czyli ten lekarz...
No wiem. Już dzwonię. Okay. Batka, schodzisz?
Jestem też. Tłumaczę. Can you please and wait for your doctor?
Yes.
How you feel now?
Well, it's very high, and I did a lot of tests this morning, and it's this was the first one, and then I sat down and waited, but it wouldn't go down. Then I went to another place, and it was still very high, and then
this is okay.
Nah, it should be 120.
Better and better.
Better than with the first. And then I bought a machine myself and was lying down for an hour.
When you're Danish like me, you're covered health-wise in most countries in the world. But I'm not a resident there anymore, so I've taken out a private insurance that takes care of me anywhere, also here in Poland.
Some insurance? Maybe you have some insurance?
I have this. But they said that maybe I should just pay for it myself. I spoke to the insurance company, and maybe I should just pay, and then I will get them to refund me.
Okay. Czyli już jest płatna i zwracają tylko panu za ten. No to wizyta jest o 20 zł.
20?
120.
Okay, it will be 120 zloty. So we can pay now and we can give you a receipt.
Kserować mamy jeszcze później historię choroby. Proszę powiedzieć, żeby pan z powrotem z historią choroby, którą ja sobie druknę, wrócił. Okay?
But how is your Polish?
I think I told you the story when we were in Krakow, that when people, unfortunately, as you might hear, my English accent is from north of London, so it's very London accent, and it doesn't go very well for the Polish language because the Polish language has completely different sounds which I can't replicate very well. And then when I speak Polish, people often say, "Oh, your Polish is very, very good. How you speak with, get the words correctly, etc." And I say, "Thank you very much." And then
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję. Yeah. Well, I still can't get some of the sounds terrible. It's even now I can't say. Well, I now live in Świerszcza 2, which when I first came to Poland and I ordered a taxi, the taxi companies had no idea where I was living. Anyway, they ask me how long have I been living in Poland, and whenever I tell them how long I've been here, the normal reaction is which is a sign that your Polish should be much, much better for the time you've...
In fact, I think you said, your Polish is good. How long have you been here? And then if you said 2 months, they would say, it's good. But when you say, is it 22 years?
23 will be this year, yeah. So, I've never had a lesson. I still mix up endings for male and female. It's very important, which I often mix up. And same with the endings for simple past, and when I have male and female, I often say as if I'm a woman that I did something rather than, or with the same thing that my wife did something, and saying it with a male ending. So, but I go to Polish cinema with my daughter, understand it like every language. It's a situation you understand much more. I watch Polish TV very often as well, so my understanding, I would say, is 90%, but speaking comparison, I'm about 60.
Yeah, but then again, I would also say that a lot of Polish don't speak that much English.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. You can find people who are young and are terrible. Yeah. As I didn't mention before, but my wife is a middle school teacher, and they've got kids now. They learn English as the second language in most schools. Or in other schools, it might be French or Spanish or German compared to Russian. So the younger people pick it up much quicker, and there are far more situations where younger people are not going to have a problem. Completely different to 23 years when I first came here, where I would say a very small majority spoke anywhere near fluent English.
Yeah.
My older daughter tells me to speak English all the time, not Polish, and also my younger daughter says when I'm in a shop, speak to them in English, not Polish. So even she is making.
Don't be embarrassing, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, as all fathers are.
Yeah, that's our job.
Yeah, to embarrass our children when they get older.
When I went to the hospital yesterday and finally got to see the doctor, she said, "I'm so sorry, my English is not very good, so this is going to be difficult." And this was basically as good as she sounded, and her English was impeccable. But she just felt, oh no.
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
I hear that it should be more like 120. And if it's
I don't think so. In your age, it won't be 120.
Okay.
But it's like.
I didn't know that had anything to do with age.
You should take medication for hypertension, but it's not like now it's something happened and you just have to.
So I'm not gonna die tomorrow.
I don't know that. Sorry. For now, it's okay. It's like you're safe. It's nothing special. It's high, but it's not like it's very high, you know.
Okay.
So what she's saying is my blood pressure is high, but still not so high that she would prescribe any medication to me right now. Instead, she gave me homework. Measure yourself 3 times a day for 3 weeks, and then go see another doctor if it's still high and get their opinion on it. And with my new little machine, that was something I could definitely do. And then I would even get to make a nice Excel spreadsheet of the results. I love doing that, I know, bit nerdy. So stay subscribed to hear what happens in a later episode.
Let's talk about what it's like living here culturally. I expect that you've learned to adjust and get used to it and live here, but it's very different from what you're used to in England.
Well, there's a lot of stereotypes which are, stereotypes are based on fact.
But are some of them true? Let's just take some of them and
if you want to, I mean, if we take the political situation here in Poland with the Law and Order Party, which is called PiS, they're very, very, very nationalist. It's very much like the feeling during the Brexit situation about immigrants. When I first came to Poland, I worked with some African teachers from Kenya and Nigeria, and a young lady I used to work with for many years. She once was walking home in an October evening and got hit and run car accident, and someone found the registration number. They tracked her down, and in court, the driver, as a excuse or giving reasons, said that it was a dark winter's October evening and he didn't see her. Mm-hmm. You know, with that implication that she's black, so he couldn't see her because it was dark. When I'm a big football fan, when England came to play Poland in the European Championship, and there were 2 guys with the young children behind us, and England scored. The guy said when he scored, he looks like a monkey. And for me, I reacted. I turned around and said to him in Polish, "How can you say that? You know, that's racist. How can you make a comment like that?" And the guy said, "Well, he does." saying because he looks like a monkey, therefore it's nothing wrong to say so. And I said to him, what kind of image is he showing to his son? Even if he may think that he shouldn't be saying that, because his son is hearing these comments, and then he's going to be possibly repeating the same comments because he thinks it's okay.
For us, it's so obvious that it's racist, but for him, it may be just no. I think he does.
Yeah, you can't be 100%. But I'm sensitive about it, but it's still a situation. Even if you think it's, maybe you are living in the 21st century, and you have the internet, you have all the news media that. Again, you can say it's overly politically correct, etc., but it's out there. Yeah. So you have, if you have any intelligence, you are actually thinking about what you say before you say it, rather than it automatically come out because it's normal.
The ultimate destination for armchair travelers who are looking for inspiration to get out into the real world, let loose their wanderlust. This is the Radio Vagabond. Gotta keep moving.
I'm here in the old city of Warsaw, and I'm about to go on yet another free walking tour with Walkative Tours, the same company that Tomasz from Krakow was working for, and I'm looking for the yellow umbrellas, and just want to make sure that I'm in the right group. Wait a minute.
During the occupation of Poland, the Nazi Germans had a plan for a long time to destroy the city. Warsaw had been selected for destruction and major reconstruction as a part of the Nazis' planned Germanization of Central Europe under the Nazi Generalplan Ost. But by late 1944, with the war clearly lost, the Germans gave up their plans of colonizing the East. So the destruction of Warsaw did not serve any military or colonial purpose. Still, it was carried out solely as an act of reprisal. "80% to 90% of Warsaw's buildings were destroyed, including a vast majority of museums, art galleries, theaters, churches, parks, and historical buildings such as castles and palaces. They deliberately demolished, burned, and stole an immense part of Warsaw's cultural heritage. After the war, extensive work was put into rebuilding the city according to pre-war plans and historical documents. And Warsaw Old Town, where I am right now on yet another walking tour, was rebuilt based on paintings from the 17th and 18th century. It's now protected under UNESCO and is a perfect example of restoration of cultural heritage.
Family is very important. That's always been something I would say positive about Poland. The importance of family and family commitments. The older generation are not just thrown away into an old people's home or not taken care of. The family always nearly always looks after the older generation. Mm-hmm. So there's always been that. I felt that when I first arrived, the sense of family and community was always a thing I think is quite strong. But even where my mother-in-law lives, there still is the small town mentality sometimes, unfortunately, and it's still there.
Even here in the capital.
Yeah, I mean, you get parts of the uneducated. I think it's really when they're uneducated people who still believe in the ways that they did maybe 40 or 30 years ago, and the older people who brought up saw communism have found it sometimes very difficult to adapt to the new society, new way of life, for example.
Yeah. I guess for some people who's never been to Poland, might have an idea about what it's like here. So if I just throw a few sentences at you, can you give me a very short answer to those? Okay. The food is very fat and it's all cabbage and pork.
No, it's not. The understanding of healthy lifestyles, cooking programs that are on TV says that, but there's still the normal Sunday peasant food. As we're in Krakow, there's restaurants called Chłopcy Jadło, which is peasant food. There is still. I enjoy it myself. I enjoy golonka, which is meat wrapped in cabbage, and pierogi. They're stable foods, which are very nice. I think there's nothing wrong with them.
Some might also think that it's very unmodern and uncivilized compared to the Western world.
No, that's again complete misdemeanor. There's been so much investment and development due to that since they joined the European Union. There's international businesses from every part of the world. Warsaw again, and the big capital cities, big cities. There are cosmopolitan feel. You've got all the different restaurants. You've got all different people from America, and especially in Warsaw and Krakow. People of so many different nationalities. Although one of the friends I was down in Krakow sort of said we didn't seem to notice the African American or the ethnic community there, where in Warsaw there is. You see people from different races and creeds on the street all the time. So I think that maybe is a situation. No, but everything, they have modern conveniences and everything, hotels, restaurants, and they put on a very good show for the European Championships with the Ukraine as well. So it's you don't have to worry about plumbing not working or anything like that.
I went to a mall yesterday and went to the movie theater. It was state-of-the-art modern. It was very, very up to level with what I'm used to in any capital city around the world.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when I'm back in England, I actually prefer the multiplexes here because the quality of screen and the seats are very, I say, outdated or a bit run down. So that everything here is, the cleanliness of the streets is another thing. When I return back to England and I see the rubbish everywhere, and everything's spotless in Warsaw. I think generally, you don't see rubbish laying on the ground. Even where I'm living here, it's very, very clean. Although we do have an off license in the park here, where a few people like to have their drinks and fall asleep on the benches. But yeah, everything's modern. You couldn't say it's backward in any way with in any shape or form. And you've got all the top brands, and you can buy all the luxury brands, Mercedes, Ferrari, and all that sort of stuff are here as well for the more upperly mobile society in Poland.
The last one, a lot of the men here in Poland, they have a big mustache.
No, that when I first came to Poland,
I was really hoping that you'd say, "Oh, that one's true."
No, there are they're very modern. I remember when I first came to Poland, when I was coming to Poland, the only person I knew about was Lech Wałęsa and his moustache. No, the young people are very trendy. They're very up in fashion, and you don't get. There's a lot of hipsters. There's more likely to find hipsters here than people with the old sort of communist moustaches. Now that there are still people around, everybody, but no, it's not. Definitely not. I mean, the young people, and one thing everybody says: the Polish women, beautiful. And elegant and very, very attractive. So that can make up for many things. Yeah. And I'm very, very, very happy here. I miss especially my mother back in England, and the second biggest love of my life, which is my football team. So I miss going to watching those matches.
Which team is that?
That's West Ham United from the East End of London. Yeah, that's my team. I miss going and watch. I've got satellite TV, which has the Premiership on, so I'm fully clued up on what's going on. But I do miss going to the stadium and the atmosphere from there.
I got one final question for Mark in a minute. Will he stay in Poland forever or go back to East London and his beloved West Ham United as he gets older? But first, a few important things. If you enjoy this podcast, please tell a friend. That's the best way. Some people say that it's really the only way to spread the word about a podcast. So please tell a friend. I'd also like to hear from you, so please send me an email on listener@theradiovagabond.com or record a voice message by clicking on the banner Talk to Me on theradiovagabond.com. Tell me where you are and what you're doing while you're listening. Also, I'd like to hear where you would go if there wasn't a thing called COVID, because it seems like it's still going to be a thing for a while, said here in December 2020. This episode is supported in part by Hotels 25, where you can find the best prices on a place to stay if you're going to Warsaw, East London, or anywhere. Hotels25.com. Now back for a few last words from Mark. I was wondering if he could see himself staying here in Warsaw all his life, or if he was thinking of going back to England at some point.
When I was first married, when my older daughter was born, we were thinking that after when my daughter became secondary school education, we would return to England for her. I'm still here now, 12 years on from that. I could quite happily see myself being here and living here for this period, but I think my wife would be quite happy if the opportunity allowed itself for us to go to England as well. So never say never. I would never imagine that I was going to be sitting here 23 years later talking to you about my life here.
Who knows? Maybe you will go to the Caribbean.
maybe that's the next step. But yeah, I'm settled here. I've got a beautiful family, very good job that I enjoy, and a nice home. So home is where the heart is, and at the moment my heart is here, but I think my soul still belongs to the UK and Britain and England.
And West Ham United.
And West Ham until I die, which is always one of the websites that I follow. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will, but I'm not staying any longer. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray, so tomorrow I'm heading to Minsk in Belarus, and I'm so looking forward to that. My name is Palabo, and I gotta keep moving.
Produced by RadioGuru.co.uk.